Hello everybody and welcome to the second episode of Redstone Explained here with your host, Hodag, that's me. And in the first Redstone Explained video, we just kind of checked out the basics. We checked out some of the power sources, we checked out how redstone works, where you can put it, how you can kind of put it, and go up and down, left and right, and front and back, and all the different ways. In this second episode, what are we going to look at? Well, we are going to take a look at strong versus weak power. This is something that has confused me many times trying to build some redstone things in Minecraft, and it's a very basic beginner concept that isn't really explained very well in other places. Maybe some places it is, but it's definitely something that is going to confuse you at one point or another, even you advanced redstoners out there. So we're going to take a look at that today, but first, before we get to that, we have the puzzle at the end of the last episode, you guys. Why did this work the way that it works? Why does it work the way that it works? And that is because this switch right here is basically powering this block, and this block right here has that strong power. It's got strong power, okay? So strong of power that it's going to power all of the surrounding blocks. It's going to power the one above, to the side, here, and I guess if the switch wasn't here, it would probably power the one to the right too. Because if I put the switch in front and then put another redstone lamp here, it would totally power it. But right now we have the switch right here, and the switch in itself, the block that the switch is covering right here, also has strong power. So it's going to be able to power all of the surrounding blocks as well. So kind of like this is a main power block, this is a strong power block, and all these surrounding ones that are on are actually weakly powered. So maybe that made sense, maybe it didn't. But if it didn't, that's fine, because we're about to dive into it. You guys, strong versus weak power, here we go. Alright everybody, one thing that might seem extremely simple is simply how power goes into the block. And this thing is something that has eluded me many times, whether it be on a tutorial that I'm trying to build, or on somebody I'm trying to copy and I see them all of a sudden like take power out of this block that is receiving power, and then I do that and I'm like, wait, that doesn't have power. How did they do that, you know? And it has to do with this block right here being strongly or weakly powered. And the way it's set up right now is you have your power source right here, you have a redstone torch, you have redstone dust leading into it. However, simply with this redstone dust right here, that does not receive strong power to this block, okay? It doesn't power it strongly, and we can kind of demonstrate that by doing this with these random blocks. If it was strongly powered, this redstone dust placed on the top would be charged, because anything surrounding this block would then be charged, just as we showed over in that example way over there. And it's not powered, okay? So if we take this out and we do kind of like what we did in the example, we have our switch here and we power that block. So now this should be strongly powered, and the dust on top is powered, because any block you would put around here has power, whether it be anything up in the top, bottom, left, right, however that is. So the difference between strong power and weak power is pretty intense, okay, you guys? Again, if I put this here, it's kind of like our redstone torch leading into it. You can put redstone dust coming off in any direction. We could build upwards. We could do so many things with a strong powered block, and I hope you're starting to get the idea of it. But if not, let me go and make some more examples for you. You guys, I've been building some examples, but I decided to leave this clip in and actually make a specific clip just to show this. I do not know everything about redstone. Back here, we had this example here where we got some redstone running into powering this lamp, and I was like, you know, see, this is weakly powered because I'm Hodag, and I think I know what I'm talking about. See, the redstone on top isn't powered, so obviously it doesn't power the blocks around it, aka weakly powered. Then I started building stuff, and look at this. The exact same kind of thing. We got the redstone torch running into the back of this block, and I was going to be like, well, you know, experiment. Let's see how much is lit up. And I expected just that one to light up. But apparently, I didn't try this before. Apparently it won't light up redstone around it, but it will light up these redstone lamps around it. So, yeah. This is Minecraft really, you guys, okay? So I'm not sure exactly what's going on here. And if you know, put it down in the comment section. This is what Redstone Explained is all about, you guys. We're figuring out redstone together, one step at a time, small steps, and I'm kind of improving my knowledge of it too. But obviously there's some sort of strong power here, because it's going into the back of this block and it is powering all of the surrounding ones. However, it's not powering it enough to put like redstone dust on the top and do that. In a second, I'm going to introduce to you I'm going to introduce to you guys redstone repeaters, and that is going to kind of change the game a little bit too, but we're still sticking to redstone dust and power sources right now. And let me show you what else I built, okay? This one goes straight through right here, and because this block has power with the dust on top of it, it is strongly powered and it powers the ones around it like that. Now you might be like, over here, you remember this thing right here, where'd it go? Where's my example? Remember how when you put a redstone torch down, it doesn't power the block below it? I remember that. It was in the last episode. But what happens over here? Look at this, the block below it is powered. Well, that's because this redstone torch is powering this dust, which is powering this block here with strong power apparently for all the surrounding blocks, which includes the block below the redstone torch. That's why it says, I get power from that guy, okay? This is the kind of stuff in tutorials and other things that just kind of freaks you out and you're like, what's going on? So let's get back over here. We have our thing that we had in the last episode at the very end. Okay, so basically these two are strongly powered, which powers all of the surrounding ones like that. Move on, and you might be interested to know that the redstone block actually works for a lot of different things and a lot of different builds. However, it doesn't give strong power to the surrounding blocks. A redstone block will just power whatever's attached to it, and that's it. In fact, it's kind of boring a little bit for this demonstration. You go over to the redstone torch and it won't power that block underneath it. However, it does give strong power to the block above it, and we can tell that because if we knock it out, see, it was powering all of those other ones. And then the two that are on the other sides of it here are not receiving that strong power. They're just getting power to them because they're next to the torch. So this is an indication that basically these blocks here are not receiving the strong power. This one is directly above the torch, and it's powering the other ones around it, which could also be used for redstone. Then you go to this next one here, and I basically just did the same thing, but I put the redstone torch on the side of a block, and you can see that it never powers the block that it's attached to, basically. But above it, definitely strongly powered there. And then these other two blocks, just like back here, the ones on the sides are the weakly powered ones, but they are powered. Then let's go over here to our other power sources. We got our button. It kind of works the same as the redstone block, you guys. It's powering that light behind it, which is then, in turn, powering all of the surrounding blocks. So it is giving strong power to this block right here behind it, which is then powering all of the blocks. But, you know, it's a different power source, you guys. It works in different ways, and depending on what you're building, it might be useful. Then we have this here, this pressure plate, and if we throw something on top like that, you're going to see that it works basically the same as the switch, which is right behind it right there. Okay, the switch and the switch and this pressure plate pretty much operate the exact same way. Where basically this block right here, where the power plate is, not power plate, the pressure plate, is strongly powered, which powers all of the surrounding blocks. Then it also is strongly powering the block that it's attached to, which is powering all the surrounding blocks for that as well. So that, in a nutshell, is kind of like our power sources and weak and strong powered blocks. However, I have to say, unless you guys put it down in the comment section and explain it to me, or unless I do some research here in just a little bit, I'm still puzzled by the fact that redstone apparently strongly but also weakly powers a block that it's running directly into. That's a little bit confusing for me. So if you know, throw it down in the comment section. Let's get on to the next thing. Next, I thought it would be fun to talk about the redstone repeaters, you guys, which is something that I personally love in Minecraft and love in the redstone community, because redstone repeaters is something I use all the time. And I just spelled redstone repeater out of redstone repeaters, and that was kind of fun in itself. But let's check out how it works. Basically, let's say you have to hit power to something way over there. Well, we can't power it because it's too far away. Because in the last episode, if you watched, redstone only travels for 15 blocks, basically, before it can't travel anymore. It runs out of power right here. So if we wanted to, we could put this redstone repeater anywhere and basically recharge the signal. If I put it here, boom. So it recharged from basically only a power of 1 here. It pumped it back up to a power of 15 and continued our line all the way over to our light. Okay, this is perfect, because then you can basically just light something that's about 500 blocks away if you really wanted to, or you can make something work 500 blocks away. However, there are some small downsides. Redstone repeaters automatically have 1 tick of delay. In their natural state, they have 1 tick of delay, which means it's not going to be instantaneous, okay? Redstone dust in itself seems instantaneous. You can see how when I flip the switch, the light turns on just a second later. Or it turns off. it's not exactly instant. And now you can actually put more delay into redstone repeaters, which actually helps in many different contraptions. So this is 1 tick of delay, 2 ticks of delay, 3, and 4. So this is the maximum delay on a repeater, and if I flip the switch now, you can see there's definitely delay. And that comes in handy for a number of different things. For instance, right now I'm building a contraption that is going to basically get me a bunch of flower dyes within my survival world. And one of the parts that I have to do is this. It basically has this thing, something like this, where we had before our power source, our redstone that leads directly into basically a line like this, okay? It leads directly into the side, and then it has to have redstone dust on the top. But I need a block here. You know what? The redstone doesn't connect like that. And I need this redstone up here to be powered. How do I do that? Well, here we go, you guys. Weak and strong power with redstone repeaters. If I knock out that dust, and we feed in this redstone repeater directly into that block there, this is going to supercharge this block. We got strong power, which is going to charge the redstone on top. And then we can continue that signal, and kind of, you know, it goes up a layer. It's kind of cool. And sometimes you got this block here, and you need to do it. That's all it is, okay? Redstone, you guys, we're going to check a few more things, kind of like these things here, to see how redstone repeaters can basically change our weak and strong signals, and we'll be right back with that. For starters, there is this, something that I started out in the very beginning of the video, where we basically want to carry our signal out then from this block. Well, if the block is supercharged, we can do that. There it is. Now our redstone is coming out the other direction, and it's recharged again up to a signal strength of 15 because it's basically supercharged from this block here, which repowers it and continues that redstone line onto whatever we want to power. Hey guys, one thing I forgot to talk about when I was talking about buttons, and that is the difference in tick delay between a stone button and a wooden button. If you watch really closely, the wooden button has a longer delay than the stone button. If you want a really quick one, you use the stone. If you want it to last a little bit longer, you use the wooden one. However, another cool thing you can do with repeaters, not necessarily, it has something to do with strong and weak power, but basically if I push this button here, we power the light. And when the button's done, that's it. It's over. But what if we want this light on for like twice the time or 3 times the time, a little bit longer? So basically what we have here is a little delay system, okay? We're going to push this button here, and it's going to power this redstone and go straight into the light, just as this one here did. However, it's also going to power this redstone, which goes into this repeater, which goes into this block, which goes into that repeater, which goes into that block, and repeater, and block, repeater, all the way over to the block next to our light. But it's not just doing that. It's also receiving strong power because this repeater is powering it, which is powering the redstone next to it. So even when the button stops and it pops back out, this block will still be powering this redstone, and then it's going to delay for 4 ticks and then go into this one, which is going to power the redstone. So basically this light is going to stay on a long time because it's not only powered by this first string, it's also powered by every powered block through here, and each one has the longest delay on it. So watch this. And we're finally off, okay? So that's one way you can kind of cause some delay in the game through repeaters and keep things powered a little bit longer. It's not something that comes in handy all the time, but it is something that comes in handy, you guys. Alright, you guys, I've been trying to think here for a little while about exactly what you can use repeaters for, and I just started thinking of like a million different redstone projects and a million different things that I've seen or have tried to build that include repeaters, you guys. The repeaters are everywhere, whether you're recharging a signal, whether you're trying to bump your redstone up to the next level, whether you're trying to create some extra delay in your system, and here, whether you're trying to basically stack something, if you want basically systems to be right next to each other, but you don't want your redstone to mix, sometimes it is necessary to have your repeaters. You could not do this without redstone repeaters, you guys. If you just had redstone running straight, it would connect to the redstone next to it, and both systems would be activated when you push one button. But instead, in this system, it's completely separate because you're using redstone repeaters. And this happens in a lot of different systems, from automatic potion brewers to item elevators that need to be stacked right next to each other, and it becomes very difficult. So guys, redstone repeaters are within everything. And because I'm trying to keep these videos a little bit shorter than my SMP videos, I'm going to stop here, and I'm basically going to ask you guys, what is something that you really use repeaters for, that you absolutely need to have a repeater being used? So go ahead and tweet me a picture of whatever you have, or throw it down in the comments section, whatever you have, and show me what you guys use repeaters for, what could be useful for other people to use repeaters for, and just repeaters, but also throw some stuff in there if you have any comments about strong or weakly powered blocks and how that is utilized as well. Because definitely 15 to 20 minutes here, as long as this video is, it's hard to really even touch the surface, you guys. Within every single build, there's something to do with weak, strong power and repeaters. It's insane within the Minecraft community. So, anyways, if you guys enjoyed this, go ahead and put the like button down there, hit the comments, subscribe, go to Twitter and give me a shout out on there, follow me on there. But on behalf of all the Hodags everywhere that are going crazy because they can't quite understand weak and strong power, keep messing it up in all their builds, and on behalf of all the people who love Redstone repeaters, or at least Redstone repeater spelled out in Redstone repeaters, I would like to thank you on behalf of all the Hodags out there, and have a great day, you guys.